So the Virgin Mary in a rash, one of your other plays, I know there's lightning that leaves some sort of marking on one of your other characters. What's that about? Have you ever had any images on your body?
It's a rather personal question, Jennifer. I didn't know it was that kind of interview. Well, you know, the theater is a very embodied space. It's not like film and television and you know, other forms. Bodies in space have a lot of weight and meaning, and bodies mean things to us when we see them on stage, when we see the old person and the young person and the slow person, the fast person and the limping person, right? We bring meaning and roles and archetypes to these characters. So bodies, I think, are really important. And one of the challenges for a lot of writers in the theater is that although we're writing words, right, that's all we do is we write words, it feels like it's a literary form. But in practice, when an audience watches a play, a year later, they probably don't remember a single line from the play. They don't remember words. We're impacted far more powerfully by images. All of us on this call probably remember vividly images from things we've seen 10 or 20 years ago, but can't remember any lines from. So over the time as I've written, I've sought ways to make sure that the visual events of the play, that the part that I've written, not the part that the director and the designers are responsible for, but what I write in terms of the action and interactions of the characters. I want to make sure that those things are embodied and powerful in a visual sense so that people carry those images with them. And part of that is thinking about costuming and the roles that people play and how costuming reflects that. Part of that is how space is used. And part of that is how people are marked physically by experience. And it goes beyond the plays you mentioned, Jennifer. A play called Under the Skin involves kidney transplantation, and so scars is a really big facet of that. Incorruptible involves a character who has lost an eye and wears an eye patch and is later on healed. And it tracks through all of them. It's either a neurosis or it's a very high class aesthetic notion of mine. But it is important to me. And I think oftentimes it also allows for the most impactful moments to not be only verbal, because we can actually see the impact of events on people's bodies, and it affects us in a visceral way.
I love that. So you've emblazoned these images in our minds that we can take away from these experiences. That's much more interesting than if you had told us that you saw like Jesus on a tortilla or something.
Well, that's also true, but less reputable.